Hey, my baby bees, it's your girl B, and welcome back to another episode of Celebrity Truth or Dare. Today, we're not playing around because we're looking back at some of the juiciest, messiest, and craziest stories on the show. We've had some celebrity guests spill some behind the scenes Hollywood secrets, reality TV chaos, relationship drama, family drama, and a few stories that made me think, wait, can we actually share this? From Cosmo somehow ending up on Cops, to Farrah Moan revealing the craziness before Drag Race, to Luenell giving us the real story behind how that whole iconic dinner party scene from Borat really happened. This episode is packed with the kind of tea that you do not normally get in a regular interview. So sit back, relax, because you work too hard not to, grab yourself a snack, and let's get into the gossip. We're starting strong with Cosmo, because when I asked her what her wildest story was, I was not expecting it to involve cops, her twin brother, and somehow a mistaken identity. This is one of those stories where every sentence gets crazier than the last.
I moved to LA and I am looking for drugs, okay? Because I told you I'm a recovering drug addict for real as I'm working on Melrose and like this crazy work ethic and designing clothes for NSYNC. I had this little side darkness and I would just go do drugs, girl. And make sure I was at work the next day, tired, exhausted, but she must go on. It was a lot, girl. Okay, managing two lives.
Two different lives.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it was a lot, girl. So I go to McAdden and Santa Monica Boulevard, and there's a library there. And that's where the drug dealers used to hang out, back in the day. And so I go to get my stuff, and there's like a little fence there. And they go, turn around. You're on Cops. So I turn around, and there's like literally lights like this and a fuzzy camera in my face. And you're on Cops. So I'm like, what? So anyway, they go, and I knew I had a warrant. So they're like, do you have any warrants? What's your name? So I said, I'm Joseph Lambino, my twin brother.
Oh my God.
So anyway, and I'm praying that my brother didn't have a warrant, So they go, you're Joseph, where do you live? I'm like, I live in Beverly Hills and, I just out here looking for my boyfriend. I was scared.
Yeah.
So that's in the public, that me on Cops. So they go, I think my brother wind up having a warrant too. So we will take you in, but if you sign this release, we'll let you go. So I signed the release. Meanwhile, I had all cocaine in my mouth. I was afraid it was going to come out of my teeth, And I signed the release, and they said, this is a release to show your face on Cops. And then a few months later, people are calling me from New York, and they're like, you're on Cops.
Like Cosmo? Is that Cosmo?
Yeah, like,
Cops?
Is that you?
Like, what?
No, really. Even my clients, like who I was doing clothes for, back in the day, and they're like, "You're on Cops." Like, oh my God, we see Cosmo. So like my friend in New York, she's like, I hear Cosmo on my TV set. I hear that voice. And it's you on Cops. Yeah. So that's what happened.
Oh, next up is Pheramone. And this one is a full-on roller coaster. We're talking relationship drama, being locked out, things thrown into the desert, and then somehow, in the middle of all that craziness, getting a call that would change her life forever. Drag Race.
Essentially, I was living with that abusive drag queen that I was in the car with for a while, and she just made it really hard for me to succeed in Austin because she sort of had this, she struggled with like drug and alcohol abuse, right? And she also struggled with me being younger and getting these opportunities that she wasn't getting. And so every time I got booked for something, I felt this like monumental pressure from her to like bring her in on the booking and be like, well, can we also hire this girl? Like, she's really good, whatever. And anytime that they wouldn't bring her, she would show up to the gig wasted, pick a fight with someone, get in a bar fight, get me fired. And so, or when I would get home from the gig, she would be wasted and beat me up. So like, it was like I and I was trapped. Like I really was. And I just started like venting to the random men that were hitting on me in my Facebook message requests. And some strange, 400-pound man that seemed to have some sympathy for me was like, well, come move on out to Vegas. I'll pay for you to move here and I'll take care of you until you get on your feet. And I was like, okay, but like you promise it won't be anything romantic. Like I can't promise anything romantic. Please don't be romantically interested in me. You have to be doing this because you want to help somebody that you believe in, okay?
Yes.
And he was obsessed with me.
Yeah, of course. It's
he had
never
a shrine
for
of
free.
me when I got there. And
What?
then it was another really scary, weird situation that I was intertwined.
Oh my God, Farrah, there was a shrine waiting for you in Vegas when you arrived. That is crazy.
Next to his bed.
Okay, so you walk into the situation, you see the shrine, you see the man, you know you've got like only so much money, but you know this is a bridge. You're gonna walk on it to get to the other side.
He didn't start off scary and weird. He actually was really supportive and like I would make him like buy like Whole Foods groceries because I was like, well, if you want me to live here, like we have to like have nice, groceries and stuff. Like you want me to be a star, don't you?
Yeah.
So I need
like
to
anything for you, baby.
And he kind of did spoil me a little bit. Like he would give me his credit card to go shopping and stuff sometimes. But then it was always like, a bunch of buddies of mine are going on a trip with their girlfriends. Do you want to come with me on mine? I was like, are you telling them that I'm your girlfriend?
Oh, he most definitely is.
Well, right.
Yeah,
but like I told
yeah.
him, I kept having to be like, you can't do this to yourself because there will never be anything romantic between us. I'm not interested in you in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And, he would always act so understanding of this until I actually started dating a guy.
Oh my God.
And the next thing I know, he changed the locks and threw my stuff out in the desert, but kept all of my panties and lingerie and
my God.
Yeah. And that was when I got the call to be on Drag Race.
What?
With my stuff thrown out in the desert. Yeah.
So your stuff was literally outside. You got the call and they're like, Farrah, you're in. Welcome to the show.
And I'm like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. What am I gonna do? And they're like, you have 15 days to come up with 36 looks for the show. See you in 2 weeks.
Oh my God. I'm literally speechless. So you like collected all your things.
Yep.
Did you move in with the next guy?
I sort of. So the guy that I was dating he was a singer on the Las Vegas Strip, and he was living with a fan of his in a tiny spare bedroom. So I moved into that tiny spare bedroom with him, and I had to like sort of put all of my stuff in different friends I knew's garages because there wasn't room for all of my things. So that's kind of how I had to like navigate getting ready for Drag Race, like living in a place that didn't really feel like home. It felt homeless adjacent.
Yes.
Like I felt homeless adjacent because
Yes.
I didn't have anything of my own. I had a shelter, but like I felt very alone in the world in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living with this guy I've been dating for a month
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a house that isn't even his, that he doesn't even pay anything towards.
Mm-hmm.
With a random lady I just met that owns the house. My drag and all my belongings are all over the city of Las Vegas. So, yeah, I had to like beg, borrow, steal. I had a drag mother. I call her drag mother because she would serve that. She took that role on when I moved to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
She worked at the same club I got a job at, and she really helped get that package together for season 9. And yeah, it was a lot. It was one of the most difficult things I've ever done, trying to get that package together in 15 days, broke a like that.
Yeah. But you knew you had something that if you could get it together, you knew you were going into something that would completely change your life.
Right.
You would never have
I
to
almost
be-
said no because I was like, there's just no way I can
Oh
do this.
my
And then I was like, you know
God.
what, bitch? You're going to do this. And if you bomb, you bomb. But at
Mhm.
least you tried.
Wow. That was literally like your make or break moment. Like you could have just given up and been like, I don't have anything. And that could have like been like another spiral situation of just going from place to place to place and just dealing with people you don't want to deal with because you don't have the ability
Drag
to
Race
get-
saved me. Like it really, like
Literally.
I don't know if I like say this enough, but like season 9 especially like saved my life. Like I needed I needed, and you know, that's what is so interesting about my season is if you really like watch interviews and get to know all the other girls from season 9, especially, season 9 kind of saved all of us. We all needed that experience right when it came. It was so divine intervention type for like almost all the girls on the cast. And I think, you know, that is ultimately what made it one of the most viewed seasons of all Drag Race history.
Now we're switching gears over to Taylor Owen, who gave us one of the more unhinged dating stories than I think we've ever heard before. Let's just say her dad didn't like her boyfriend from high school, and he made that very, very clear.
I do remember one time I was in high school. My dad did not like my high school boyfriend. No one did, really. And I think we were in a fight or something, like a high school, you know, one of those fights.
Yeah.
And my parents were cooking dinner, and we came out to the kitchen, and they heard me fighting, and my mom was like being nice, and she was like, "Oh, honey, do you want to stay for dinner?" And my dad was cutting something, and then he took the knife and held it to my boyfriend's crotch and said, "He's not welcome here for dinner."
God!
A lot of crotch stories from me so far, but he really did that. So yeah, I think we broke up pretty soon after.
Yeah,
that.
he's like, "Your dad's cray cray. I'm out of here." And you're like, yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? My dad's right. See you later.
Yeah.
So,
it's I love that craziness. I embrace it.
Yeah.
Although I've never had a knife held to my crotch.
Not yet.
So I must be doing something right.
You're a
Keep
good
in
guy.
line.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
No fights at the one.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. My dad was like, "I should have cut it off." I'm like, "All right, well, I'm glad you did." So, yeah. Got to be on my toes with them.
Finding a licensed therapist can already be overwhelming, but finding one that actually takes your insurance, well, that can be a whole other level of frustrating. That's why I'm excited to share Rula. Rula is a healthcare company that makes it easier for you to find quality mental health care that works with your insurance. Rula partners with over 100 insurance plans, and patients typically pay $15 per session using insurance. And depending on your benefits, your copay can be as little as $0. Rula helps match you with licensed in-network therapists based on your goals, preferences, background, and the kind of support you actually need. No wait lists, no frustrating back and forth, and appointments are available as soon as tomorrow. Go to rula.com/dare to get started today. That's RULA.com/dare for quality therapy that's covered by insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that's actually covered by insurance. Visit rula.com/dare to get started. That's RULA.com/dare. You deserve mental health care that works for you, not against your budget. Now, let's get back to the show. Okay, so we had to bring Cosmo back because apparently one story is not enough. This time, Cosmo takes us into a relationship saga involving love, betrayal, a trainer, Herbalife, and the kind of breakup trauma that feels like it needs to be its own limited series.
So this particularly happened not too long ago. This was like maybe, I want to say 10, 11 years ago.
Okay.
So basically, I'm like, okay, I'm older now. I'm single. I'm happy. Like, I don't need a man. You know, I have Wendy Williams and my meatballs and my Huskies. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. So some guy came in my life and he was like, I'm a trainer and I sell Herbalife. And he goes, I'm going to get you in shape. So I'm like, what? But for some reason, I believed him. But it wasn't the Herbalife at all. It was how hot he was.
He was like 100 out of 10. Like,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Like if you go to a Herbalife convention, girl, I literally think they're all porno stars. I mean, they're just one is better looking than the other. Okay. So anyway, so I joined Herbalife. I lost weight, you know. I was hiking with him. Whatever he said to do, like eat kale and chicken and have these shakes, I was doing that, girl. Mm-hmm. So my sister saw a picture of me in New York. She goes, that's not Herbalife. Cosmo's in love again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the Herbalife did help. It gave me this nutrition. I mean, I was just like, okay, you know, I put Wendy Williams to the side. I started making turkey balls instead of beef balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was working. I fell in love again.
Yeah.
But it was like right after I got sober. So everybody's like, be careful with relationships. You know what I mean? Because they're more addicting. People are more addicting than drugs.
Really?
So yeah. So I'm like, so I asked my guru, I said, yeah, is it okay to see this guy? And he met him, he goes, it's fine. Like this guy, he loves you, you love him.
Yeah, it's healthy. Your
Girl,
life's
you're
being
healthy.
turned around.
He brought his dog over.
Yeah.
But when he brought the dog and the suitcase over, I was like, no, red flag. I saw the flag because, you know, I'm empath and I saw the flag even though I was so like hopelessly devoted. And I was like, no, you can't move in. You can't move in. And he's like, no, I want to move in with you. And I'm, okay, you twisted my arm. Okay. So it started like a three-year relationship. And it was really great. And in the first 2 years, it's always the 2-year mark. You notice that? Like when you're with a guy,
Yeah,
it's
2
like
years.
2 year, 2.5 years. And you're like, you're going to make it or break it.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah.
So 2.5 years, he was a bouncer at a club. Okay. So every night at 2:00 in the morning, his motorcycle, he would run home, right? Jump in my bed. Like it was amazing, you know? And then we get up and the next day go hiking. And I met his grandmother and the mother and the sister. And, you know, he's like, I want you to meet the priest that married my parents. And I was like, and then I met the whole family. And it's like, it was like, wow, this is it, Cosmo.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
actually happening.
This is it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cut to, he stops coming home at night, right? And it's getting like 3, 4 in the morning, you know? And basically, I was addicted to this guy like I was to drugs, even worse, because people are worse than crack, okay? So, but I really didn't know this. Like people would tell me there's another program, it's called Sex and Love Addicts, and I'm like, I'm never gonna need that. You know what I mean? I'm sober. That's the one.
Yeah.
The white horse, right?
Yeah.
Little did I know, I caught him cheating.
Oh,
I go to Mercedes and like he would take my car sometimes and he would leave the motorcycle home. And they go, Mercedes go, you know there's a tracker on that car. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay, let me install the tracker, girl. And the tracker, he was going to somebody's house.
Oh my God.
After 2.5 years.
Oh.
This is the ring. I still have it.
my
I keep the
God.
jewelries.
You kept
keep
that.
the
Yeah.
jewelry.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was not pretty. It was like a domestic violence thing. Like, the woman that and he's all, like
He's a big
yeah,
guy,
girl. And I was
yeah.
all skinny on Herbalife, like a skinty girl, looking cute, you know.
Cute housewife.
Yeah, girl. And so I found him and at this club and basically busted him. And when the mother you hear the story, she takes the car she lifts the car off the baby.
Yeah.
It was that.
Strength. Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, girl.
Yeah.
But my New York mob wives came out, girl.
Yeah.
And that was it. And the bouncers go, oh my God, like, what is he doing? Like, this queen up. And I was so angry because he didn't want to come home and he got real cocky. And it was just like the worst nightmare lesson. I call them lessons, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't call them breakdowns anymore. I call them like breakthroughs, you know? Yeah, years ago, it would have been the end of me, probably. But yeah, so thank God I had a strong program. And then I had to go introduce myself to the other program, which I said I was never going to need. So anyway, long story short, he called me yesterday.
What?
He's like, do you need some more Herbalife?
Oh my God, no, Cosmo. Wait. Is this like the first time you've heard
No,
you guys talk?
We made up, like he goes, I feel like I have to make amends to you.
Good.
Because what happened was after he did that to me, the girl that he was dating.
Oh, so he.
Kind
Okay.
of left me for this person. Yeah. And it was a girl.
Oh my
Okay?
God.
When he's like, I'm tired of pussy. It's toxic. I don't need that anymore. It's you. After 2.5 years, you believe it is you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So anyway, my fear was like, it was like the hottest like stripper in the club.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Like you see, I was like, oh, you're just devastated, girl. You know what I mean? Not only was she another girl, which I can't compete with pussy, right? You know what I mean? And that's fine.
Yeah.
But she was the hottest one in the club. You know what I mean?
That's painful.
I was pretty hot too. Like I was
Yeah.
really thin.
Yeah.
They were calling me Cosmo Kardashian.
Oh, I love it.
I was walking around the gym. I used to wear two booty pads. I was feeling myself.
Ooh.
Yeah. So whatever he did to me, she did to him worse.
Wow.
Like bad.
That's usually how it goes, though.
Girl. And he was like, I want to come back. And I was like,
Oh.
hell no. You know what I mean? When you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
It took a minute, but I had to go I had to go to meetings, to like, get that together about, I didn't know that sex and love was like such an addiction. Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
People can go. Thank God I went for the help,
Yeah.
I wasn't alone. There was other people going through the same thing, my age, and so we got behind it. So now like we're friends, we're friends. Yeah. But that was the most devastating breakup ever.
Next, Gianmarco Soresi gives us a divorce story that somehow ends up being a battle over wine. It's messy, dramatic, and honestly classy, and kind of proves that sometimes the real tea is sitting in someone's wine collection.
My mom and stepdad's divorce was like so based on like financial chaos. My father asked my mom to quit being a lawyer so she could raise me.
Yeah.
And she did. And then they got divorced. She got remarried, and was no longer a lawyer. Certainly not making a lot of money. She became a stay-at-home mom to a certain degree. And then when her and my stepdad got divorced, suddenly he had all the money, he had all the power, and she was kind of helpless in that respect. Wow. And so the divorce became so antagonistic because she had to figure out, I need a certain amount of money. I'm not, just because I want to leave you doesn't mean I want my entire life status to change dramatically. That's not fair. You made all the money. I was home raising the kids, and that's where it becomes so brutal.
Yeah.
And so I just sometimes think a lot of it has to do with figuring out like equality of finances, even if the income streams are different. It's really complicated.
And there's probably so much resentment on your mother's side.
Sure. I mean,
for
resentment
that.
on both. My stepdad didn't want the divorce. So, he's sitting there, he's going like, fuck you, don't leave. I don't want this to end.
Interesting.
And she's going, oh, I want to leave. And he's going, well, then go.
And she's asking for all this money because it's like, oh my God.
Well, also there's a joint account, and it's who's going to take the money out of the joint account first. And he did. And then it was a very chaotic day. She picked me up from a voice lesson. And we went home, and my stepfather had a wine collection. He has money. And we got there, and she found out all the money had been taken out of the joint account. Now, for all I know, she was going to do it the next day. Who knows?
Yeah.
It was bad times.
Yeah.
She was in the basement. He was upstairs. Brutal.
Uh-huh.
And she gets home, and she goes, well, fuck, I have no power left. She goes and she gets the wine, and box by box, another similarity with your dad,
Yeah.
taken these crates of wine to a car to take them away, to use them as essentially poker chips because this was his prized collection. And she asked me, would you help? And I didn't, because in my mind, I was like, this man had been my stepfather for 14 years. I didn't know if this was legal, illegal. I didn't know what the was going on. I basically got home and and my mom wanted to leave, and it felt like unfair, but I still felt guilty. She's my mom. But she took 2 carloads of wine, brought him to a friend's house. I'm just upstairs at home. Like, I think I was like on Skype with my girlfriend at the time, being like, I don't know what to do.
Panic Skyping.
and eventually, like, using that wine, which legally was hers too, because they were married, so they co-owned it essentially.
Yeah.
She used it to get what she wanted out of the alimony payments, and eventually get a place of her own
Wow.
Because in Maryland at the time, you had to live under separate roofs for a year before you could file for divorce.
You'd be separated, but you had to live separately.
Separate for a year.
Yeah.
And in that clause, they say you're not allowed to have had sex in that year. I think they changed the law, but this was part of the law.
How would they know?
My thought, I've never looked it up, but my belief is that, I believe we live in a patriarchal society, and they said if the man doesn't want, whoever doesn't want the divorce to happen, the government likes marriage.
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't want the divorce to happen can go to court and say, Your Honor, she can't leave. We had sex last week. That's my thought. Because you're right, how can they prove? But you
Yeah.
can claim.
That's a little loophole to
Yeah.
stay locked in if you know.
You just
don't-
say,
yeah.
we had sex.
And then you can't just be like, well, no, because they're not going to believe you at that point.
Sure.
Okay.
That's my thought. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's chaos. And again, it was like the money. If we lived in a world where both of them said, yeah, I guess divorce is okay, could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot better.
If you've ever felt stuck trying to lose weight, you're not alone. It can be so frustrating when you're putting in all the effort, trying to get healthier, and you still feel like you need more support. That's why I'm super excited to share Weight Loss by Hers. Hers now offers affordable access to FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hers, you can lose up to 20% more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first GLP-1 pill for weight loss, so there are no needles. Everything is 100% online with Hers. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you. And if prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit forhers.com/dare to get personalized, affordable care that gets you. That's forhers.com/dare. forhers.com/dare. Weight Loss by Hers is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is a registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit forhers.com. Now, let's get back to the show. Now we're back with Pheramone, and this is where the drag race tea begins to really start brewing. Farrah talks about the legendary van rides, the stories the queens told when the cameras were not rolling, and the diary that she would jot notes down from season 9. And yes, some things were apparently too insane to actually reveal.
My most cherished moments that never made it to the show were our like hour-long van trips from the studio to the hotel in the morning and then the studio to the hotel at night. Because that's when we weren't allowed to talk anything production related. So we would talk like craziest sex stories and like wildest hookups and craziest like drug experience. Like we just used to just go unfiltered, raw, crazy in those bus rides. And some of the things that I learned about these girls, I will unfortunately never be able to forget.
Are you going to take them with you to the grave? Or are they going to stay there?
I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
But, you know, who knows? Maybe one day if I ever do like content with any of them, they can like, we can discuss beforehand. Because I wrote everything they told. I kept a season 9 diary.
Did you?
I sure did. So I have like all of it written down.
Oh my God, you're taking notes? That's crazy.
Like, after I got back to the hotel, I was like, well, let me just document this day.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
Alexis told me that one time she did this.
Oh my God.
And it's funny, I kind of forgot about a lot of the specifics. And then on my Twitch channel, we did season 9 diary reads, 1 page per stream for like a few months. And that's when I had to skip over some of that because I was like, oh, we can't reveal some of this stuff.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was very nostalgic and very cute to do that.
So there was no cameras in those vans. So, wow.
No cameras, just PAs trying desperately to get us to not talk about like competing. So it was like we had to figure out anything else we could talk about that had nothing to do with Drag Race.
Okay, this next Cosmo story is not for the faint of heart. It starts as a hair appointment, turns into a full Hollywood relationship investigation, and then goes completely off the rails. This is definitely the craziest LA story we have ever heard on the show.
So I moved to LA and I'm a hairdresser. And I lived in the Valley next to Michael Jackson, and everything was oh so fabulous. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
My father gave us a life here that we didn't have in New York.
Mhm.
So he worked in the Palm restaurant. So it was like really good money. And we were like, living like, we moved on up like the Jeffersons. Okay. Long story short, so I'm doing haircuts and my cousin goes, I'm going to make you meet this lady. Her husband's a movie producer, has a lot of money,
Wow.
and they live in Granada Hills. And you're going to go over and do their hair. I'm like, oh, I'm excited, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I walk in and I see this little lady, tiny, tiny, tiny. She goes, I'm doing her hair, and we're talking, and she's like, I think my husband, she goes, I'm engaged to be married. And I'm like, wow, congratulations, that's great. She goes, but I think my husband's gay. So why are you telling me this? Because the hairdresser knows it all, right? So I'm like, you think he's gay? Why do you think he's gay? She goes, because he's into, can I say it?
Go for it.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. She goes, he's into fisting. And I'm like, he's into fisting? Like, what? She goes, yeah, we get high and he wants me to fist him.
Oh my God.
She goes, so I think he's gay. So I'm like, I would think so. Like, there's something there.
Yeah.
Before you get married, I would definitely investigate, girl. So anyway, she goes, could you come over, tonight?
And just see for yourself.
And just see, just feel the room and everything. She goes, because I don't know if I want to marry him, but I'm really in love with him and he's really gorgeous. I'm like, okay. She goes, there's going to be cocaine there. So I'm like, okay, I'm there. Because I was like a cocaine addict. We all were in the 80s, right? Go to the house and I walk in and there's an 8-ball on the table. And then I see him in the bed with these 2 mirrors. Right? And I just see this gorgeous, gorgeous, hot man in the bed. And she goes, come in, let's talk. She made me a drink and, we're talking, kikiing and everything. Anyway, we got into a situation, girl. So it wasn't pretty. But as long as there was cocaine on the table, I would have kind of did anything. Because, the party, I go wherever the party is. And I went along to get along. And then it just ended up very tragically. She ended up hysterical crying. Yeah. And she's like, now I'm sure there's something wrong with him. God. I said, you needed me for that? You know what I mean? Everybody, to each his own. Your fetish is your fetish.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit too much. And she wanted to have that. Seems to me like she wanted to have that little white picket fence and I was like, girl, wrong road, wrong road, period. So that was one of the things. I don't want to get into specifics, but it was pretty awful.
Now the next moment with Farrah is definitely juicy, but it's also real. She opens up about what was actually happening behind the scenes after her fall on All Stars and gives a much deeper look at the pressure, the humiliation, and the weight that reality TV moments can carry.
I had a mental health emergency, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't have classified this at the time, but now that I've it's been so long and I've been in therapy and I understand myself and my body more, after the fall on All Stars 4, the first episode, it was my first take. And so, we were all doing 2 takes. And so I went backstage to get examined by the medic and I was actually freaking out. I'm pretty sure all the girls could hear me screaming and crying. And I was so humiliated. I was just so overwhelmed. My whole body was getting hot. And I felt like I never had a panic attack that bad in my whole entire life. It was a huge trauma response that happened to me that day that it was pretty severe. I'm so thankful that none of that footage is in the show. So, obviously there's still camera people around.
Yeah.
They're still mic'd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That footage exists.
Somewhere. Locked up in some closet somewhere.
Someone has that somewhere. I'm so happy they did not take advantage of you in that moment because that's a very fragile moment. That's insane.
They only took advantage of me by airing the fall, even though we filmed a second take.
But not the aftermath of it all. Oh my
I made my
gosh.
peace with it. I understand that, it was a monumental moment for the show. It got a lot of people talking. And I was the #1 trending topic on Twitter that night. So.
Yeah, you blew up, girl. You blew up. I remember those days. You blew up. The Pheramone legacy. But you know what? Your legacy is even bigger than that.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
And finally, we end with the legend herself, Luenell. If you ever wondered what really happened behind the scenes of the infamous Borat dinner party scene, Luenell gave us the behind the scenes truth. I mean, were they actors? Did they know what was happening? Were they in on it? And was the little poopy bag real? Well, you'll find out. Let's just say the story deserves a final spot.
The crux of Borat wasn't even the comedy. It was the message of what people will say when they think nobody's looking. Even with the camera right in front of them. They had camera right here, and we wouldn't be able to see it. And they signed releases, too.
Yeah.
And then they said some of the most ratchet shit, right? And then they got mad when the movie came out, as they were exposed, and they were like, we're going to sue. Well, first of all, you can't sue a fictitious character. Borat is a fictitious character. You can't sue him.
Yeah.
Second of all, I doubt that you have the money to go up against the movie company. So sit down, shut the up. It's too late. You're exposed.
Yeah, and they signed the waiver too.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so what I want to know is when you and Borat showed up to those people's house and you crashed a dinner party, were they like in on it? Were they actors or were they just totally?
Absolutely not.
Yes, I'm so happy to hear that.
They didn't know what the because, and also just to give you a little backstory, if we wanted to do another take of it, we had to go to another town, set up another family, and do it again.
Whoa.
You couldn't retake that. You couldn't go back and reshoot anything with that family. And, you know, they called the police on us every time. We only did it twice, and I think the word got out. But you have to go to a town, you have to find a very important family, dignitaries, and they had to make up like, you know, these are families that host politicians and stuff when they come to town. And then the director and them told them that they had been chosen. They heard that they were the shit in town, and that had this dignitary from Kazakhstan, and that he wanted to come and learn more about America. They were like, oh, fantastic.
Of course.
We would love to host them. And then he gets in there and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, the poop in the bag, the plastic
poop.
bag.
Real poop.
Was
I
that,
know whose poop it was.
was it like a crew member's poop or was it?
Yes.
Okay, so he's like, poop in this bag, go in there, do it, and then wrap it up. And then... I just like, okay, I feel like that was a piece of just cinematic history. Like I know that sounds like people, the film
It
critics are
was.
comfortably,
No, but
but seriously.
it was. And then when he was at the dinner party and he said something like, your wife is very beautiful. In my country, she'd be queen. You're very beautiful. But your wife, not so much.
Yeah, that was the one that the short salt and pepper haircut.
Oh, it was just horrible.
Yeah.
And if you remember, he took a dump in front of Trump Tower, too.
I remember that.
Art imitates life.
Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Right? That's prophetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was prophesying, like channeling something there.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so one more thing with the Borat thing before we move on to their game. Anything. Okay, I heard that in the audition, you were sucking on Sasha's finger. Is that true? Like you committed, you went all the way.
That is true.
Yes, I love that. Don't cringe, Luenell. Because that's probably what that solidified it. He's like, you're down for anything. Like you will commit. Like it's almost
I
like
did it. He was grossed out. But I took his finger like that. You know, and I think back now how gross that really could have been.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what if he didn't wash his hands? I don't know. It was before COVID. But I got the part, so who cares?
Yeah.
I'll suck it again.
I'll suck it again. I love that one.
Ooh.
And this is some of the juiciest celebrity gossip ever spilt on Celebrity Truth or Dare. Honestly, I still can't believe some of these stories happened, and this is why I love this show. We laugh, we get messy, we get honest, and sometimes the tea is spilt that you just can't plan. Let me know in the comments which story shocked you the most and which guest spilt the most tea. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who loves a little celebrity gossip. I'm your girl B, and this is Celebrity Truth or Dare. See you in the next one.